able to decompress it all the last couple weeks?
Oh, a little bit, chasing players around, see who we can catch, but it is a little different not going to the court every day.
What was it like watching the rest of the tournament? Obviously, Virginia goes on to win it. Is there any solace in that fact? Or?
Oh, a little bit. It was good seeing them win, and they had some remarkable outcomes there. Different games, with Purdue and Auburn. So, but no, it was good to see them win, and we had our opportunity. We didn't finish it that last 4 or 5 minutes, but they're really tough down the stretch. They played well, and some really good games there.
You said you're chasing down some players. What are you looking for to add to this team?
Well, we're just trying to get the best players we can. You're always looking, for a certain degree of athleticism and guys that want to be here. But it's a little hard to figure. We don't know who's coming, who's going. So it has a tendency to work out. We'll continue to recruit. Got some guys coming in and have them take a look and just keep swinging away till we figure out what we can put together.
You talked a couple of weeks ago about guys having to do what's best for them. Clearly, Bull and Lou have moved on, and Peyton and Kenny are going through the process at this point. What are the conversations you have with Kenny and Peyton in particular about this?
Well, we'll just see what happens. There's not many conversations you can have with them until they, hear from the combine and hear from teams. They'll take a look here this next month and see what happens for them, and then they'll make a decision.
Seeing that there's all the advantages of doing this, it's almost like kind of expected, right? You'd almost want them to do this regardless of their chances, just to get feedback.
Yeah, you see across the country everybody's doing it,
right?
And I get a chance to go work out for some teams and see where they stand. Maybe what they need to work on, what teams perceive they need to work on. So it's a good process for the players. It makes it a little uneasy for us, trying to put a team together. But again, over the long run, you got to do what's best for your players. And if you do that, then you're in, you're out. Players will want to come play for you. So if it's in their best interest, or their families feel it's in their best interest to go, then we'll wish them the best. It'd be tough on us, but that's what we're here for. We're here to give opportunities.
So the next few weeks while they're going through that process, is there much you'd be doing to build toward next season that you can't do or won't do? You'll have to adjust.
No. Still have our workouts. Still have our workouts. Peyton, Kenny, depending on all our workouts, they'll continue to lift. And, their deals would just be on the weekend, so we wouldn't be working out then anyway.
Now that the NABC is done and Final Four is wrapped up, obviously the rest of your staff, we talked last month about their futures. They've got contracts up in about 2 months. Would you like to get the kind of business side of this wrapped up here pretty soon?
Well, they'll, do it again what's best for them also. So we had conversations. I think everybody's good, but if something comes up where it's a better opportunity for them, and, they've done a great job for us, then we'll hope for the best for them. But sure hope everybody stays, kind of like with the team. Get a comfort level with guys, and we got a great staff. That's the other part of it. Those guys are good, so I'd sure like to keep them.
Seeing how frequent people like to put their names in the transfer portal, are you expecting everyone that's back?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Have you had discussions with Victor specifically then? Because clearly his role changed by the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I gave VJ saying we'd sure like him back, but if whatever he and his family feel, but no doubt we want him back. I said that from day one. We want everybody back, and VJ's a big part of that. There are some areas I'd like to see him improve in, but I think he feels the same way. He wants to get better as a player. There's no doubt about his work ethic, and there's no doubt about him as a person. We just got to tighten some things up, and hope he chooses to do that here.
With all the moving parts, how much can you kind of sustain what you did over the last 6 weeks of the season or so and carry that into the off season and into next year?
Well, that's a good question. Kind of depends on how many guys come back and how many guys we got to work with off this crew. But I think the guys feel pretty good about where we ended. They were disappointed when things weren't going well, but I think they felt pretty good about the way we finished. So hopefully that'll, the guys that are back will carry that through.
What are your thoughts on the schedule? It seems like you've really upped the level of competition that you have next year.
Well, we're in a good exempt tournament, which we have been. This year Iowa and Syracuse are both tournament teams. Next year, the possibility of playing some good teams down in the Bahamas. Getting Michigan. John and I have talked about playing last few years, and we finally got it worked out. So then return games, games that we've had. So it just kind of worked out that I think Michigan's going to be really good again. And Houston's going to be really good again. So Memphis, we're playing them in Portland, I guess, and they're supposed to be really good. So we'll have to be really good to have a chance. So. You look back at our schedule this year, it was really good.
Right.
Houston, Baylor, all tournament teams, Iowa, Syracuse. So played a pretty good schedule this year.
How many openings are there left for you to fill on the non-conference schedule at this point?
Oh, I think 4. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Josh is working on that. We've been talking about it. 4 or 5, I think.
Gotcha.
We got to get to 13.
With the Michigan one in particular, I'm guessing you're hoping that the battle for Atlantis, that they're on the opposite side of the bracket, just to...
Doesn't matter. Whatever happens. If we play them twice, we play them twice. It'd probably be a good thing. I don't know if we'd play them the first round, but whatever. If we're playing them there, probably a good thing because they're going to be awfully good. So.
What conversations did you have with Lou when he made his decision?
Oh, I think he and his family, felt pretty strongly, what they were going to do. I wished him the best, and hope like heck everything works out for him. So he'll have some good workouts. He's shooting the ball really good. Continue to develop his strength, and he really made progress as he got his rust off, from the surgeries and that. So he finished strong, and if he can keep that same trajectory, he's skilled 6'7", 6'8" guy, and that's and his length is good. So defensively, I think he can do some things. So, I think his future's really bright.
What's the next step for Will? He played a pretty prominent role for you guys off the bench.
Yeah, he's got to get a little stronger and continue to develop. So he's working on his jumper. That's a big part of it. Spread that defense a little bit, set up his drives. But no, I agree. I thought he did some really good things late for us. He did some good things all year for us. But he's got a big time future. He's got to get in that weight room and got to continue to get in the gym. But he likes getting in the gym, so no reason to think he won't make tremendous progress.
Really big picture philosophically, Dan, like the Final Four became a big example for a lot of people who wanted to debate the one and done and roster composition and how people kind of go about that. From your perspective, what was your kind of takeaway for those who say, well, this is now the way you have to build in college basketball, you build with the long term and those kind of players. I don't see anybody ditching recruiting Bowl or Zion of the future over this, but do you think there's some merit to that argument when Villanova's done what it's done the past couple of years and Final Four for these teams?
You can say, Texas Tech had 2 grad transfers and a transfer from Florida, so maybe that's the way to go. Virginia, all their guys have been there. Villanova, has brought, but they've also gone to some pretty high-level recruits since they've won. I don't know if there's an exact science. There's so many close games. You look at Virginia's, games. I mean, those could win either way. Duke had 2 close ones that they won, and then they lost a real close one. Everybody wants to say this is the definite way to do it, and there are tremendous advantages to having guys in your program for a number of years, no doubt. I don't think anybody would pass up, one and done talent. I think if you can blend the two, you've got the best of both worlds. but Virginia may go through something out with Hunter. I think he was just a sophomore this year, right? And I think everybody's got him on the draft boards really high, so they may lose somebody, and we went through it with our Final Four team. Tyler left after 2, Jordan and Dylan left after 3. So again, I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I think you get the best players that you can that want to be at your school, that want to work with you as a coach and with your team, and then you go. Bull was our leading scorer and leading rebounder before he got hurt, and Lou was our leading scorer, and they were both good to work with. So, I don't know. Moving forward, we're going to recruit guys that want to be here. We're going to recruit guys that are possible one and dones, because those are really good players. We'll see what the collective bargaining agreement does with the NBA. That's going to have a lot to do with it. But we want really good players that want to be here, and want to work with us, and whether they're one and done, 2 and done, 3 and done. The landscape of college basketball has changed. I think if you look at any program, there's very few guys sticking around for 4 years right now, whether they're transfers or, Villanova wins it, and they got a couple guys leave kind of unexpectedly. So I'm not sure what that exact formula is. You just got to keep proceeding with guys that want to be here, that have the ability to make us better and help us, get back to where we want to be.
I know you're still figuring out the math for next year, but do you have a number in mind of guys you'd like to add in the spring? And are you looking more at transfers now, more so than high school players for next year?
We're just looking for guys that fit, whether they're transfers, whether they're junior college players, grad transfers, some high school players. We just want guys that fit, knowing that, the landscape, college basketball, 1 or 2 years projecting ahead is probably all you can do right now. So to answer your question, we're looking at everything. Guys, we just want to be able to fit, and guys that we think can make us better.
Dana, a few new coaches in the Pac-12. You're one of the veteran coaches now in the conference. How do you see the trajectory of the conference and where the direction it's going?
Well, I know Mark Fox and I know Mick. I've known those guys for a long time. I don't know Kyle very well, but our league, we have to invest in our programs, and we've got to compete. And we had last couple of years, we've slipped from 16 and 17, where we really, 16, we had 7 teams, and the following year we had 3 teams in the top, 10, top 15, whatever. So we have slipped a little bit, and I think everything is up and down, but I think we'll bounce back. I think schools got to commit, and coaches got to commit to having the best product that we can, and I think we're getting good players. Our recruiting classes seem to be pretty good, but again, we've got to get that blend of guys coming in with veterans that and so much of it is who goes, and our league has really done pretty well in the draft, the last couple of years, and so that's been a factor also.
A couple of weeks ago, further documents came out regarding Bowl and Melvin McDonald. Have you had discussions with Bowl?
I haven't heard anything from those, so I haven't had any discussions.
Have you, your staff, have you seen any communication with Melvin McDonald to this point? What's the status?
No, we haven't had any communication with him. So.
Thanks, Coach.